Here's another way of applying some textures or details on a mesh that doesn't require any image mapping at all, or projection mapping, or UVs for that matter. So I'm going to go ahead and create a ball. And this is not very widely used, but if you ever want to paint some graffiti on a wall and you don't want to apply an image map, you can use this technique. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and apply a shader to the ball. Just going to do a Lambert. All right. Select the object, go to your rendering menu set, and you want to choose 3D Paint tool. All right. You're going to open the options because there's a couple of things you need to change in the options. The first thing you need to do is make sure you assign and edit textures. This is the resolution size, so if you want to increase it, you can, but for the most part, we can just keep it like this. Assign as texture. And this is your color. No, I'm sorry, right here is your color. The flood color means you're going to flood the whole thing with that color. I'm going to choose the color, hit blue, and I'm going to start painting. Okay, so undo will get that away. Now, these are some of your artisan brushes. Here's your radius, which is the size of your brush, which you can also change by holding B and scaling up and down using the left mouse click. These are the type of brushes. You have a very soft Gaussian brush, which is like a spray paint type of effect. Then you have a soft brush, which is the first one I use, gives you this. Then you have a solid brush, which is a little more angular looking. And you have a square brush, which is this. As you can see, I'm recording this in school. So those are your brush presets, and there's some paint effects preset that I'm not going to touch on right this minute. So you can choose different colors and paint. You can also change the opacity. So this is set at 1, which is opaque. If I change it to that and I paint with the airbrush, you can see that you can sort of kind of see through it a little better more. And that's your opacity of the brush. To flood the color, choose a color, you can paint the whole thing with that color.
To the Dean of Girls office. Asia Boone to the Dean of Girls office.
Sorry. You can also flood the color to selected faces. So I'm going to go back on here, go to face, select the object. I'm going to hit select faces. Let's try this.
Would Mildred Clary and Canary Williams please come to the office? Mildred Clary, Canary Williams.
I'm sorry. Okay, I've never tried the flood paint, but let's just do like pink. And I'm going to select the faces, do flood plane. Now because I didn't have any faces selected, so it floods the whole thing, so I guess I have to select faces first before I do a flood. Flood erase will erase all the floods that you created. Down here, there's also a couple of different options. You can also turn on reflection. That means if you paint on one side, you can see it's reflected on the other side as you work. All right. If you change the stroke pressure, I guess if you're using a pen, you can also change the stroke and the stylus pressure right over here, which I'm using a mouse, so right now it doesn't apply.
Canary Williams and Mildred Clary, please come to the office.
Let's take a look at some paint effects so we can get some brushes from the paint effects menu. Under here, I've not talked about paint effects yet, but we will. So let's say I want to paint some hair. All right, I can grab the brush that I want and kind of paint on it. So this is some fluffy hair. That's some red hair. So this is just painting on geometry. All right, so when you're done, just get rid of that brush. And when you render it, let's take a look at what you would have. So we have a ball with some strange hair-like substance on it. All right, so that's called painting 3D Paint tool. And there's also another option of applying simple textures, materials to your objects. And again, it's not very widely used, but it's an option in case that's what you want to do. All right. That is it. Thank you.